Hello, it's Kristen from Life of Crafting, and I'm coming to you with a new series of cards, and I'm kind of stuck on Christmas, and I'm doing a drum roll because I love this paper. This is going to give you a tutorial of how to take those papers you find on clearance and they don't have a lot of it, but you want to make something that you like. So I found these from Pion Designs. I had to look that up to say how to pronounce it. They are a Swedish company, and this paper pack was known as, this is Winter Wonderland, but I believe the series may have been images from the past from looking at what's written here on the bottom. So I found these as a clearance, and the cut aparts, some of them like the face on that's a little scary there, like this one. But they're just in that pale color. It's something different. I really am into the nostalgia, so that's just me. I really don't care what's in the back because these were why I bought the paper. Actually, there's nothing on the back. To give you an idea, the background is more of an ivory and blues and pinks. Lots of blues, lots of pink. So I just got this Spellbinder Cinch and Go poinsettia. I was watching, I think it's Polly's Paper Studio, and she makes the 3D flowers and you know, that very Victorian look with the doily and the, she calls it the crinkly ribbon. That's seam binder ribbon, as far as I am understanding it to be. I could be wrong. So I took this paper and I bought it because I wanted to just do something with these. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do a quick series on, and I think I'm going to post them as individuals. So I am looking to obviously make these the focal points. I want to do as little, if any, stamping as need be. I'm going to use, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I only got 2 on here, so I'm probably going to have to do some stamping. And we're going to make what we can. So I went through, as I've mentioned before, I'm trying to de-stash. I'll leave these over here. I went through and pulled out anything I felt could possibly go with this because I'm looking to get rid of this stuff. So this was like a blue. It's supposed to have like watermarks all over it. The back side is a green. Obviously won't go. But I thought the baby blue side wouldn't go, so I want to use that up. I had some close to my heart paper that was from Frosted. It's got a very faint snowflake print. As you can see, this is what happens. Your papers start to turn color as they sit and age, so there's a really like a reason to start using them up. Even down here in the center it's starting, so I want to get rid of this. The back is this kind of like diamond print. I'm thinking these papers may not be a good fit in the matching of the blues. The brighter blue in the center was fine. I may see about doing, trying my hand with making flowers from these. This almost looks like fishnet stockings to me. But it's like a taupe kind of color. I felt like that was definitely that, and there was a snowflake from there. These are all from what I believe to be a close to my heart, and it's all from that Frosted series. Yes. Chevron, I don't think is going to be a good one, and I don't think this one's going to be, but who knows? As I start working, they may come out to work. I had a piece of gray, charcoal gray. Oh, I got this from Hobby Lobby. It was known as wrought iron. Oh, okay. So that was a brand new sheet. I don't know why that was in there. This was just a foily paper that I got off of, I think, a freebie table at one of my weekend crafts. It's a silver foil. It's got like a florally embossed all over print to it. So I'm thinking maybe that's a good fit to get in there. And then I had this pearlescent swirl from Whirlwind. I don't know where or how I got it. It's just got this all over texture in it. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm thinking these are things I'm going to focus on getting rid of first thing. Get them out of the stash and get them on. Again, it seems like it's not a whole lot, but you know what? It all got here piece by piece, so it's got to get out of here if it's piece by piece. So I think my first focus is I'm going to cut these down, and again, as I've had in some other papers series, I love the texture of this paper. It is a very linen feel paper. Does not have that polished feel to it. But I do need to watch because I have lines that go around every one of these. So I'm probably going to want to cut on the lines, and if you see there's a gap in between. So I'm going to cut these down, and then I'm going to start seeing what I can. Like I said, I'm thinking I may pair two up. I don't know. You've got some smaller ones mixed in, so we'll see what we're gonna do here. Let me start off by cutting these cut aparts. I'm back. I did my cut aparts, and I've got what looks to be like a big mess on my desk. But this is like the equivalent, I would say, to me, as like an interior designer creating like a mood board. So what I'm kind of doing is drawing out, because to me what's important with these was these are going to be I don't want anything distracting from these images. To me, this was what is the card. So I'm trying to pull together some things. Believe it or not, the pink in this had a lot of purple in it, so it was very hard. I think the best pink I'm going to use is this old pink pirouette that was from Stamping Up. I'm not sure, you know, because of it looking nostalgia, I need to do some aging, that I know. So having said that, I found the pink, and the blue is this old Bashful blue from Stamping Up. But again, you know, you can use a lot of different things, but my thought on these are nothing to distract from these. I'm laying them out. This is just a dark gray, and I need the one color to kind of pull it all together. And I'm thinking I may go towards the gray, even though there's a lot of brown. I'm just looking like if I throw the brown in, I just feel like it really brings down the whole mood here. And I know that sounds a little strange, but it just seemed to, it just didn't seem to give, it just distracted, I guess is the way I felt like it was doing from, I felt like it just didn't give anything. It distracted. So I'm going to go more with the gray. And I did say before, like I was looking to bring in some silver, and I felt like silver was better. To me, papers are either going to go, you know, they're usually going to go the silver or they're going to go the gold. The warm or the cold. And I'm not really like a person that thinks like in warm and cold, but I think in gold and silver. Yes, I do bring in other like coppers and stuff, but I do feel like this is one that's going to go more towards the silvers. So that's like another thing I look at is kind of like what I want to bring in. I want this to be nothing distracting, so I need light and airy. I have some of this like very thin thread from Stamping Up that I want to get rid of. You almost can't see it, but that I thought was a good way to add in some color, so I'm going to leave that out. I did find these doilies, and I think they're going to be a good fit. And I don't know how, if you could tell, I don't know if I just had these long, like there's definitely a difference in, let me see, I have a white here. I don't know how they got aged. I guess if you needed to, you probably could age them. I don't know if you can tell that in this light, but they are more of an off-white, so they are going to be perfect. I definitely plan on using them up in this. You know, I may have to just trim them down to kind of get them in there, but we'll see. And I had some old, oh, I turned my light off. These hymn books from my church from, oh God, like 6 years ago. And the paper is very in that same color group. So I'm thinking I may make use of these. The church was going to throw these out. And I thought, you know what, I could probably do a lot in my crafts with these. So I took them, and I'm thinking they may be a good way to bring in some other texture, because what is going on here too is I don't have a paper that's a printed paper to use in like the background of these. They didn't have anything like that. So I'm going to have to find a way to bring in like a background. I love layers, but these papers are going to really have to be aged to do that. So then my other thought, last thought was, I told you I want to do some flowers with these cinch and goes. I think I'm going to try it with either some printed papers to bring in another texture. I may do it in glitter. We'll see. I'm going to try these because, like I said, I haven't done anything with these before. But I do have, here's the seam binder ribbon. The colors aren't perfect, but you know what? When you start separating them out, you're not gonna notice. And if you notice, a lot of these are like, have like pinks or blues. So I can use the pink on the blue or vice versa. So I have this in a pink. I got this from, I don't even know where. I'll put a link. I think I got that off like eBay or something. What I have here is a huge roll of this in white. And I'll show you some things. We can age this up if we need to. We can change it to a color, the little bit of just a spritz on it, and you can get the, it's not going to look like it right now, but you can get this really easily to give that crinkled look, as you can see. So I'm going to leave this here because, like I said, this can be made into anything we need it to be. I had a green. I was looking to maybe use that with the flowers. Use the green instead of doing some leaves. I don't know. I do have this that my cat attacked. It is a ribbon that Stampin' Up! Had for the Forever Fern pattern. And I know you're looking at it like, why in the world is that woman saving that? But you know what? These cards in this age is very much, like I said, it's supposed to be looking old, and we're going to age stuff up. So some of this looking tattered really may not be a bad, I'm not using a lot, but I'm thinking I may use some of this up. Again, get rid of it, make it gone. And then two other ribbons I had is I have a Soft Sky from Stampin' Up! In a seam binder. So I'm thinking that maybe, like I said, I had the pink. This may give me my blue. And then I had this that was like some kind of, I don't even know where I got it from, probably a yard sale. This has like a darker green. So I'm thinking this may not be a bad one to add in instead of the lighter green. So we'll see. Again, I'm just trying to use up. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We'll see what's coming down the road. And then some of the, I think I want to do, I'm supposed to be making these for a giveaway, so it gets kind of hard because when you start adding up what I'm thinking to do with the flowers and stuff, it's going to add a lot of bulk to these cards. And my point is to make it so they get used. So I'm having a tough time because I really feel like some of these cards need certain things to kind of really give them that wow factor, but I also need to make them easy for these people to be able to use them. So I think if they're really like that wow, they're going to want them for somebody special in their lives, so hopefully they wouldn't need to mail them. So what I have here, I'm thinking for that little pop, is I have jingle bells of all sizes. I have tiny little ones in the silver. I don't know that I'd be using the red or gold. The white is way too big. But, I'm thinking maybe those for a little something. Or I have these Winter Wonderland ornamental, like snowflake charms. from Stampin' Up that have been just sitting around. So they kind of play into this. Again, I don't know how much I'm going to do with anything like dies. I'm definitely not planning to do any kind of stamping other than the ones that are going to need a sentiment. So that would be it for what I'm pulling out of stash. And then right now, the only thing I could find for sketches was these two, and I just used this. But I did like the fact that maybe I could do, and I'm just showing you, I wouldn't know that I put these together, that maybe those two would be good, but I don't know that that's going to work because I think it's going to start hiding some of these to get them on the front of a card. So I'm going to go searching for a few more sketches, and it's getting late, so I think I'm going to be finishing this up tomorrow. But this gives you an idea how I start sorting out and getting together some of the things to put these cards together. It's Kristen back, and I came up with my card for that paper, and there it is. It took me a little while to kind of figure it out because I kept wanting to use pieces. I kept wanting to use the side that had the like snowflakes kind of on it. And I'll be honest, I couldn't really get the blues to mix in the way I wanted. It was really kind of tough. Like this paper had lended itself to pink and blue. And I don't know, it was just not coming together for me. So this is what I had come up. This is the reverse side, and it's a little more of like a gray than a blue. So I'm putting this on an ivory background because this paper really does have a lot of white in it. But the paper I'm using for the background has a lot more cream in it. So I'm not doing any layering behind this either because it just, again, I could not put a paper to match this. I was thinking to go gray, but I don't know why. I'm one of them people like I don't like to mix gray and browns. And the blue was too blue for this. Things to just kind of think through when you do this. So the first thing that I went with was I was trying to find something to cut this out. I wanted it to have a nice crisp edge, and I cut it crisp, but I just wanted something to really kind of like frame it because it was just such a pretty picture. So what I found was, if you have one of these, and I'm going to be keeping that in mind, is the Queen & Company's Foundation 10 set. This square die in here is going to become one of my new best friends because it fit very closely on this, left very little extra around it, and gave me that stitched edge that I want. So I can see me using that a lot in the future. So then, again, because I was blowing out, I think it was 14 of these, I wanted a neutral background, and this is an old Stampin' Up color called Baked Brown Sugar. And that was the color I felt that I could get that would match for all of these. Because like I said, some had more pinks, some had more blues, some had more grays. There's a lot of different colors in here than you would actually think there would have been. These I do know I was having a really tough time trying to get them, so I didn't have that much. So I am going to trim that off in a second. And this is an old paper tray ink Christmas pad. I have, where did I put that? I have several of them. Here it is. It was called Holiday Flourishes and Swirls. I think if you go on their site now, I think it's gone. But it had some really great, like, neutrals. And these were some scraps I had left over that I really wanted to use up. So I cut these down. I don't even remember what I used. I don't know if you can tell. It's got like a music note background, kind of like a taupe color. There's some swirls in it that are white. And then the background is really kind of like, I don't know if I want to say alabaster. It's supposed to be like a cream ivory, but it's a little bit more brown than that. I was wondering why it was so thick. But then it had some really great, like this was got like a a mossy green, olive green, music note with the all over white. It's pretty much like kind of the same theme, and then they changed it around. A really dainty, that almost is like hard on the eyes to look at. It's a polka dot, which was like a dark burgundy red on, again, this like lighter, very light brown into cream color. This was a favorite of mine with the stripe of the green and the red. Then they did a very faint music note pattern behind this, but a lot of the greens and the white and the snowflakes. Then they did a red with the white swirls, and I'm thinking I'm missing something because there were 6 patterns. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and then I guess the one I'm using, which was the 6th. So that was what came in here. Like I said, I've gone back and used this numerous times. I wound up buying, like, I think 4 of these packs when I had gotten them, but it's been many, many years. If you see anything like this on a company like eBay or something, I highly recommend just keeping it in your stash. So I cut these strips down to, I believe it was, oh, here's my measurements. It was 2 5/8. I'm sorry, 2 inches by 4 3/4 was this one. These ones were 2 5/8 by 3 5/8 is what the Queen Company came out with. So I just put these, like I said, on the baked brown sugar, and then I've had some doilies in my stash for a while. I love to bake. I don't do as much of it anymore. And I would find the doilies, and they would always sell them in these like combination packs, and it never failed. I would always get these ones at the end, and it was like I never use them because what are you putting on that when you have a cookie sheet? So I'm assuming it came out of those, and I had one, and this rim was coming off of it, and it was kind of like this, and I was like, what am I going to do with that? And you know what? It was perfect. I ripped them all off, and it gave me the edge that I was looking for this. Because if I went with this, it was just, I don't know, it just was a little, I wanted something a little more like swirly, just not defined. So, you know, you can cut these up, you can do whatever, you don't have to use them the way they come, I guess is my point. So I did that. They were so stuck together, the centers were sticking to each other, and it doesn't matter for me because they are going behind. So I just cut these in half and glued this on the back. Like I said, I have to trim this. Do that real quick. So then if it is too much for you, if it's still showing, because maybe you have something that's a little bit different or bigger, you could always fold it in half or something, but I just put this on the back so that it hid in that one corner, and then just put, the only thing with these doilies, sometimes you gotta watch with the ATG, sometimes they like rip, so just beware. And then it does need a little help because it wants to come off that one side. So I have some scraps over here. I just, if not, you're gonna get that dip and it's not gonna sit straight. I thought about cocking it off to the side, and I did like that too. But be truthful, I kind of was getting to that point where I had so much time invested in this card that I just wanted to get it done. So to do the rest of this, I was trying to use up, I have these jingle bells that are really little, and then I found I have these old Stampin' Up! Winter Wonderland embellishments with snowflakes on it. And I believe I'm going to change out from the jingle bells to these because, again, this is all about just using this stuff up. So to get started with, I had, this is some old like thread from Stampin' Up! From I don't even know how long ago, some silver thread. And here's another, I have some like miscellaneous pieces. Just cut yourself off one. I have done this before. To create this bow, put that thread between my hands so I have it there. And I stick the ends in there and I just go around however many loops I think I want. So if it's not enough, you can always add back, you can always add more to it. So I think I've got like 3 there. So now that I have that thread in there, I can just pull it up between my fingers. And I have a little bit of a tail because I pushed it through my fingers. So now, if I just pull this tight, and of course somehow I missed that tail. But it's not a big deal because I'm just going to shove it back under before I tighten this. I don't know if I'm catching all this. I'm just going to throw that back under there where it should have been all along. And I can adjust these tails in a minute. Of course, I wasted too much time. Anyway, let me pinch this. The other way you can do this is just pinch this with your reverse tweezers, and that gives you the extra hand you need. You could do it that way too, which is probably a better way, honestly. Trying to do this. This stuff is so fine, you really need like magnifying glasses, but I feel like it adds just that something extra that is needed. I could still keep using my reverse tweezers, but yeah, I need the reverse tweezers because I just don't have enough hands here. Yeah, this is the life of crafting. I would edit this stuff out, but you know what? My thing is to keep it authentic, and that's what this is. And I'm just praying that this thread does not break on me, because that's the next thing. I have 2 knots in it. I'm going to keep going. But now I'm losing the thread. I've got the thread, but I don't have the silver part somehow broke off of it, which is fine. This is just some white seam binder that I bought off of, I think, like Amazon or something. Super mumbo jumbo size. So now that I got that in there, you can just pull these apart. I like my seam binder to be a little bit more crunchy, like scrunched. To really scrunch it up, if you just put a mist of water on it, you can just scrunch it with your hand, and it'll keep. I don't know where I put my water bottle. Here's my water bottle. You just spritz it with some water and scrunch. If you have your heat tool from heat embossing, you can just dry it up. It's not that wet that I feel like it's gonna change anything, but if you're feeling like, like your glue may not adhere or something, but roll it up in a ball, do whatever you gotta do. It'll stay in that, it'll keep the bow. I mean, obviously I have it tied, so that's gonna stay. Look how, you can really scrunch this up. So, having done that, let me find my center again. Now I'm going to stick, I'm going to put a pile of glue down. At least I'm praying I'm going to put a pile of glue down. Like I said, my Glue and I have not had a good love affair going. All right. Oh wait. Before I do that, I took some of this and made several loops because I'm gonna have that go in the opposite direction. This is probably better to have a glue dot. I forgot about this because I want this to like dry immediately. So put a glue dot down. But I want this to go in the other direction of the way that the bow is going down, because I'll fluff it all up in a minute. Don't feel like if you put it down like and it's not pretty, it's not going to look nice, because it will. You just need to get it all down and then you can spruce it up. It's kind of like flower arranging. You just got to play with it. Oh Lord, my husband's trying to put new attic stairs and I can hear the Dremel tube going. That scares me. So there is that. So to get the snowflake on, I have one of these dental floss things. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's from like Oral-B, or no, gum. And I have bad eyes, so I just can't see. And honestly, I just cut the smallest little thing off. I can use that. I'm just looking for something to hang it off of. And you just pull the one end through. So it's like the threaders used to. My mom used to sew, so there's like threaders that they made. I don't even have to do like anything with it. Like I don't have to. Oh, I'm gonna catch in there now. Great. I'm going to just put a glue dot down. Oh, it's my last one too. Guess I better make it good. So just stick that on there. And what's going to happen is this is going to hide behind. I made these out of this was the Spellbinders Holly Frame S6040. In there, the frame comes with these poinsettias that you're supposed to like make extra to kind of like give it dimension. I love using these just to make my own tiny little poinsettias, and I made 3 in a blue color, and I'm going to just drop a big wedge of glue, or big pile of glue in there. At least I'm trying to, but this tip and I have been fighting for days. Put a pile of glue in there, and I have some no shed glitter that I put on there, and it was just a scrap of paper, and I have a crocodile that has like these. It's an eyelet style one, but on the ends are 2 different sized circles, and I don't know if it says what size. It says 1/8, so I'm assuming, I don't know if that's 1/8 for the whole. I'm not sure, but it just cuts out these small little circles. And I loved just the simplicity of just cutting them out and putting it on there. I was thinking about doing something with like a bead or something, but it just seemed like it was going to take too long. So that was the card. Now if I could get this thread out of there. I thought about doing a sentiment. I just didn't feel like I had a sentiment that was like really fitting for, I like to just do one for all of them. I didn't feel like I had one that fit all of them. So I was kind of thinking about, you have on the ends of this, it's frosted from Close to My Heart. And if you can see, there's some words real close in there. And it says like sledding, burr, mittens, warm coats, like all kinds of little wennel. So I was thinking about, I would have had enough. I could have just cut 2 off and stuck them in like somewhere. So I was thinking about doing that, but I think I'm just leaving these plain. So that is the card I'm coming up with. I don't know which you like better. I'd be curious to see if you like the bells better or the snowflake, but like I said, for me, it's about using these charms up too. So there's my nice little giveaway I'm going to use. Oh, I don't know if I kind of arched these better. I think I may have liked them arched, but I'll do that better on the next one. So hope you enjoy my like I said, my ideas of just buying some clearance papers with these kind of parts to use up. It'll help you use up some scraps, but it also helps you use up some other stuff around. And like I said, just buying the one sheet of cut-aparts, I would have gotten, I think I would have gotten 8. Well, I'm going to get 14 of these, and then I still have left these here. I'm going to try, I have one pink and one blue. I'm going to put these together. I haven't thought about that yet. Honestly, I'm kind of over this paper right now, so I'm going to stick that aside. That'll be like another day when I just want something quick and easy. And then I do have, there's 4 sentiments left from this and 4 different little scenes. So I've kind of thought I want to do a tag with these. So maybe at some point in the future, like I said, I'm kind of over this paper right now. So I'm going to stick, I don't see me using these strips from the paper either, but I think they're going to be cute if I did something with a tag. So I'm going to put all that in a little Ziploc, and that'll be, like I said, for another day's project. So here's what I have for this project. I don't know why. This one seems a little thicker than that one. They do look the same, right? Oh well, have a nice afternoon. Bye.